Welcome back to the One of One podcast, y'all, where self improvement is the movement. Today, I have a three-year clothing brand owner, Damarian Biggins.
Yes, sir.
Damarian, say what's up to the people, man.
What's going on, y'all, man? I'm excited. It's my first time being on my boy podcast. We've been knowing each other for a little minute, actually. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I really knew your brother Ladarius LD,
Yeah,
so we used to hoop back at Harmony. So
yeah. I remember them
he used to
days.
talk hella shit, man. But
Man,
hey, I'm glad he's doing well. I'm glad you're doing well. That's a big reason why I wanted to bring you on, man. Is to kind of share your story. You know what I mean?
yes,
Because
sir.
everyone got a story, no matter what they do. And that's why I'm here to
Mm.
allow people to share their story. So first things first, before we kind of get into that, first question I always ask my guests, bro, how's your mental health at the moment? How you feeling, man?
Everything's going well. I feel like I'm honestly at a better position ever, especially starting out in 2025. I set some goals for myself, involving God a lot more inside my life. So definitely having him involved has helped me out a
For
lot.
sure.
So everything's running solid, everything running smooth for me personally. You doing good yourself?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I can't complain. Just some stuff got to figure out as far as, how I want to approach 2025.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm taking action. You know
There
what I
we go.
mean? I don't want to spend a lot of time planning to live. I want to just live. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I feel that.
So I mean, I know a lot of people. It's good to plan out what you want to do, how you want to do it, stuff like that. It's good to have that mindset.
Hmm.
But a lot of people can get stuck in that mindset to where they never take action on what they need to do.
Yeah.
Starting a clothing brand, starting to work out, or being a better person, or whatever the case may be, right? They always write things out, say what they're type or write what they're going to do,
Hmm.
but they never take those necessary steps in
Yeah,
order to fulfill that, right?
for sure, for
And so
sure.
I do not want to be another one of those people. So a big thing for me is
Hmm.
taking action for sure, man. But if your life was a book, and what would you name the chapter that you're in right now?
Oh, it's a tough question.
What is it? What would it be? Chapter? How old are you?
19. I'll be 20 in February, so next month.
Okay, chapter 19 of your
Yeah,
book.
chapter 19 of my book. I think it'd just be probably growth. I feel like the year 2024, I was just trying to learn as much as I could. Well, not learn as much as I could. Well, I gained a lot of information about myself, decisions I made, actions I made. And I don't want to say I regretted the year because I don't regret any decision, but a lot of the things I did, I wish I would have done every different things. So growth 19 for sure, for sure.
What are some of those things you wish you would have?
Oh, man, 2024, I spent a lot of time with women, a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of energy on women. The most I had ever done in my whole entire life.
Yeah,
And I can honestly say that I didn't gain anything from it except the fact that I know now, okay, let's not do this again. So I really gained a lot when I think
mm.
about it. Yeah.
For men out there, especially the more successful you are, stuff like that tends to
Yeah.
pop up more and more, and it's hard to steer away from it, bro. I mean, I've been a victim of that, mindset of just, taking what's given to you, pretty
Yeah.
much,
Yeah.
so to speak. I mean, we're guys, so it comes with it, but there's always a balance for sure.
Not for sure,
There's
for
always
sure.
like a level of discipline that I would like to practice, and the type of mindset I want to have when it comes to women in general. So I mean, that's a hard thing for guys to kind of balance, but
Hmm.
I'm glad that you kind of pinpointed that problem
Yeah.
and was like, okay, we need to chill out
Yeah.
because
Nah, definitely. I couldn't keep doing what I was doing.
it's tough, bro.
Yeah, I'm already knowing.
I feel it. Okay. Let's talk about your new job. This was actually perfect timing
Yeah.
because you just dropped your Conflicted Lovers BU
Yes, sir.
line. Just tell us a little bit about that, and you'll be able to showcase the people.
For sure, for sure. Man, the BU drop, honestly, it was the first statement drop for 2025. We wanted to come out with a message. Last year, we didn't get to drop as much clothes as we liked. We probably had like 3 or 4 drops. And that reason was possibly because we wasn't necessarily locked in when things need to be locked in on. I can't be out here with the women and then still, operate my clothing brand full time and develop it the way I need to be. But the BU drop, we just want to make a statement, especially dropping on MLK Day. We just wanted to make the statement for people to be themselves. Just like be you 1,000%, especially with the way that the world is going on right now. Everybody want to be like this person or that person. People taking high influence on everybody that's going on. So we just like, yo, let's be you. That was the statement. Just be you, to be honest.
Show them what you got,
I
man.
got you. I got you. It's my camera right here, right?
Yeah.
Boom. It's a piece right here on the front. It just says be you. with the heart, the CL heart, and then on the back, I can't read what it says. What it say on the back, my boy?
When you're authentic, there is no image to maintain.
There we go. This piece took about a couple weeks to get developed. Honestly, our manufacturer had some manufacturing issues with it. The printing didn't come out right the first time. We decided to go with this kind of like broken screen print look because that statement "BU" is important, but I feel like a lot of people, it's not as transparent as it needs to be. A lot of people don't see it and see it as important as it really is.
Mm. What was the inspiration for the the two tone color with
Yeah.
the different color sleeves?
There's just a lot of brands that was doing it. It was kind of like a trending element at the time. So it was like we still want to push out our message, but make sure that the people that's about to buy the clothes still kind of get that trending element that they're looking for.
Okay, I got
Sure,
a
sure.
question for you regarding trends and stuff like that. When it
Yeah.
comes to clothing brands specifically, how hard is it to balance keeping up with certain trends, but still at the same time still being yourself and still being unique as far as clothing brand go?
Yeah, for sure. So I really think it's about the consumers because we're creating products for people to buy,
Hmm.
and people like certain things simply because they're trending at certain times. So what we do personally is try to implement an element, but not implement the whole entire thing itself. So some people literally copy and paste designs and just recreate it and develop it new colorways and then drop it to the world. We just take an element of a trending concept. So when we dropped our worker tees about April, the trending element was the type of distress embroidery. People was just putting on hoodies on the front and back, but we was like, we could put it on a custom zipper worker tee with pockets. Take the element that people like and then drop it on there. So in terms of trends, though, we try not to follow them too much. But when we do see something that is working for other people or that people like, we try to bring a piece out with our actual, bit of creativity inside it.
Just kind of take bits and pieces here
Yeah,
and
for sure,
there,
for
and
sure.
then but still make it
Yeah.
craft it into your own thing.
Yeah,
I like
people like
that.
to call it the Virgil, I believe, 3% rule, but some people take that whole concept and just throw it out the window and just copy and paste and say, oh, I added my 3%. We take 3% of the element, and then the rest of the 97 is us.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool, cool. And then you got the shorts on too to
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
match. I mean, the pants on too to kind of
Yeah,
match.
these are our passion pants. We dropped these last year. These are just some passionate pieces that we created. People were dropping like graffiti pants at the time. We didn't do graffiti. We kind of just threw some elements on there from our actual brand's meaning. And with the roses, the hearts, the kisses, faces, the XOXO down there. So this was a nice piece that we created.
Man, where does this whole inspiration come from to even start a clothing brand, to be an entrepreneur? I mean, it had to come from somewhere. It
Yeah,
it, it couldn't been something that just came out of the blue. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
for
where
sure, for sure.
where did all this even start, man?
This is around my, I want to say freshman year. I got started.
Of
I
high
got
school?
started of high school. Yes, I got started. Um, there was a Starbucks right beside my house. I wanted to get the job at the Starbucks, and my mom was like, "Yeah, you could do that, or there's a lot of people that need their grass mowed inside the neighborhood, or you can mow their grass." I was like, "Yeah, but the heat, knocking on people, having to talk to people, that wasn't my ideal thing to do at the time." But I ended up doing it. I ended up taking a risk. I talked to my parents about it because we didn't have the equipment. They was like, we would give you the equipment if you just asked for it. We'll buy you some shoes if you ask for it. Why wouldn't we buy you some equipment to start your lawn mowing business? So I asked them for the equipment. Then not they bought me the equipment, but they bought me it with the assurance that I had to mow the grass at the house as well. So then I started that. I started knocking door to door every single day, knocking. Hey, I'm trying. Can I mow your grass? $30. $30. I get it done front and back, and it was a stress at first. Like I had a battery powered lawnmower,
Mm,
so 30 minutes it was dead.
yeah.
I'm charging, went into the house charging it. While I was charging, trying to go back and weed whack, trying to go back and blow the grass off. So it was just that process there. I kind of gave me like my first bit of like determination when it came to the entrepreneurship, like sticking with it, even though it may not be working at the time being. It definitely set me up for what I'm doing now because this process is even worse than it was before. That was just hard work, like physical labor. This is like mental work. This could like literally stress you out if you
Yeah.
let it, to be honest. So that's why I started at with the lawn mowing.
How did the first ideas start to pop up as far as the clothing brand? Was it just you? Did you have someone else who was helping you along that journey, or how
Yeah,
did
for
that
sure.
start?
So initially, right, I started two clothing brands. I believe this was 2021, I want to say, or a
Hmm.
little bit before 2021, around COVID year. So it was 2021. I had one clothing brand. I started it. It was because I moved out of my parents' house, my mom's house, and I moved with my dad. I started this motivational account called Reborn Mindset. basically posting motivational videos. When I moved with my dad, I was like revamping my whole lifestyle, trying to become a whole different person. So I was posting on an account. It gained a lot of traction, and then on TikTok, people started posting about owning a clothing brand. I was like, oh, I want to do this because I used to draw a lot in middle school and high school. So I started working on it. The first piece was a print on demand. You ever heard of print on demand?
Mm-mm.
Print on demand is basically where you order it from a company and they print it, but it's limited customizations. You can't choose the printing method, you can't choose the fabric, nothing.
Ooh.
So it got in. I was like, oh, this is hard.
Yeah.
Today, it would have been terrible, but I got the piece in. I started marketing on TikTok, created my Shopify, zero sales. I was
Okay.
like, nah, this can't be. This can't be. So after that, I stopped for a little bit and then I tried to get into drop shipping. Drop shipping is like where you order a product from overseas and then just market the product and then sell the product. I ordered this keychain. It was like a drive safe, we love you keychain that mothers and children were supposed to gift their fathers or their husbands, of course. Market the keychain on Shopify again and on TikTok, zero sales. I
Man.
was like, nah, this can't be. I was like, this can't be real. So I took some time to spend some time learning and studying. And after like a month or so, I started another clothing brand. It never really got off the ground. I was just doing some designing for it. I named it Nightmares. TikTok loved it, but I asked my mom about it, and I value her approval. So I asked her about it, and she was like, "It's just too scary," because it was kind of like a skeleton that said nightmares. I was like, "Okay, I understand that." Then after that, I stopped for a great period of time and just like spent 2 to 3 months just learning, watching YouTube, taking notes, watching YouTube's, taking notes, taking notes, taking notes. And then I saved up some money. And at this time, I had my business partner, Job. We went to high school together.
Okay.
We played football together as well. So I already knew, like, okay, if I ideally would go into business with anybody, it'll be this guy. I know he works hard. I seen his determination in football. So we got started, I believe it was like, I want to say May 2022. We got started in May of 2022. And then our first drop was that June.
Mm-hmm.
We designed our first piece. It was a black and white t shirt, had a heart on the front, Love You is Complicated on the back. I got that from that Kendrick Lamar You song.
Yeah.
Dropped the piece. The people at my job loved it. His friends in high school loved it. And then it was kind of up from that point on.
Mm. Did you ever have that point where you were like, man, why am I even doing this? Or
With the clothing brand, honestly, no. And I feel like no because when I set myself up to mow the lawns and the person agreed for me to do their yard, it was like I can't. If I got to be 6 hours to get it done, I got to get it done. You
mm,
know, you already agreed to me doing it. I already got started. I want the money. So some days I would spend 6 hours on a yard for $30 in
yeah.
the summer heat with that lawn, the battery powered lawnmower, trying to figure it out. So never quitting wasn't even on my mind when I got started with the clothing brand because I had already built up that determination from the lawnmower
So during
business.
that time, were you were still in high school when you were
Lawnmower
first starting it?
in my freshman year around that time.
Okay. And so whenever you're, you know, trial and error in that trial and error process with your clothing brand, were you in school at the time or
So actually, I when COVID hit, I went to online school and
okay.
graduated same year. COVID hit, people weren't really going to school. I had stopped playing football at the time because I couldn't play because of like COVID protocols, and my mom didn't really. She was like, "It's really no point of going to school. I don't know what's going to go on." So I stopped playing football, and I got my GED that fast, and then I just stopped going to school at that time.
Okay. Were you just working?
Yeah. No, I wasn't even working. I was just my mom owned the business as well. So I was helping her out with some things and also operating that lawnmower business.
So did she give you some tips and pointers of like, because what does she do?
At first she owned a financial company, so she was helping people build their credit
Okay.
and manage their business, stuff like that.
Okay. Did you kind of learn from her in
Oh,
some
definitely.
aspect?
Definitely, definitely. Starting out marketing, they had a Facebook group that I was operating and posting and creating little graphics for and stuff like that. So that got me started with the marketing aspect, which kind of course, helped me out here. So she definitely was giving me some game and some tips. I learned about LLCs, business credit, all the information I probably had at 15, 16, 17 years old.
Let's reflect back to you said your time. You said you moved from your mom's
Yeah,
place to your dad's place. Um, Tough transition, especially being younger.
yeah.
How was that for you, and what type of like impact did that have on you in your life at that time?
Honestly, I can say today that it changed my life completely.
Mm,
I don't know where I would have been if I stayed in the situation, but I know what I became after the situation, so to say. But it was a very tough, depressing time. That's why I started the account. The first TikTok I posted was about the situation. I was like, yo, this is the position I'm in. I'm not feeling good. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Cause like I wasn't going to college, but I had my GED.
Yeah.
I didn't have a job at the time either, so I was like broke. So I was depressed. I was depressed, trying to figure things out. That's why I started that account to motivate myself and to motivate others. And it's kind of crazy how that transition ended up happening. To be honest.
Damn. Because a lot of people when they're in that like depressed mode, they just go the complete opposite way and
Yeah,
they just kind of
crash out.
tank. But for you, it was more so like a motivational thing for you to make an account
Yeah,
and help out other people.
yeah. I just understood that I didn't want to feel the way I felt or be in the position that I was in. And I kind of knew, like, to be honest, that nobody's going to save me, you know? And people be posting that on TikTok, like, oh, nobody's coming to save you. But, like, in real life, nobody
Yeah.
is coming to save you. You literally have to save yourself, to be honest.
In those early beginning stages of your clothing brand, and obviously you're trying to get off the ground,
Yeah,
right? And you're trying to just market the people in your life, like close to you, friends, family, people you just know in real life, right?
yeah.
Um, how was that initial support like from your peers and friends, stuff like that?
It was actually crazy to think about. Like I had a lot of love, and I feel like it was because of like my personality. You
Okay.
know, I never was the guy to argue, beef with anybody. I didn't have no fights the years I was in school. Always peaceful, always happy, always smiling, always talking to people. So a lot of people at my Chick-fil-A job at that time showed a lot of love. So shout out to the people from Chick-fil-A. They know who they are. But they showed a lot of love. Close friends, friends from high school, friends from middle school. My boy Paulo, he was purchasing. You know Paulo, do you?
Yeah, I think he has glasses.
Yeah,
Yep.
he was purchasing every single drop, asking for the drop. I was like, yeah, that's love. So I definitely had a lot of love and support from my peers.
What do you think is the most important thing behind starting a clothing brand? A lot of people say it's the why behind it. It's like the message.
Yeah,
For you specifically, what do you think is the most important thing when it comes to starting a clothing brand?
honestly, owning a clothing brand is 90% of planning and marketing.
Mm,
90% of planning and marketing. You could not have a strong reason why you designed a specific piece and still make $1 million selling clothes. For example, Quan, he has a pretty heavy influence, but he sells clothes, right? And they don't have a why or purpose behind it. He has his personal brand behind it, but marketing and planning. How are you going to roll out this piece and how are you going to get people to see it? Because if it looks good, whether it has a why or a reason why you did it, if it looks good and you get a lot of eyes on it, people are going to buy it.
mm. So what does a day to day look like for you, man? I know
Yeah,
the entrepreneurial life is not for everybody, for
yeah.
sure. Create your own schedule. It's spontaneous. What does a day to day life look like for you, man?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm in a development stages. Like I'm still trying to figure out the perfect schedule for me because life just constantly goes and constantly runs. Ideally, I like to spend my time doing like deep work in the morning,
Hmm.
2 to 5, not 2 to 4, 4 to 5 hours of deep work. I have a mentorship program that I run that I teach people about how to start their clothing brands. So I spend the early morning process working on that stuff, replying to their messages, posting messages inside my school, getting my content uploaded for the day for my personal brand. So all my content gets uploaded in the morning or it gets scheduled. And then if I got a video to edit, I'll edit that video within those 2 to 3 hours. And I always got a clock as well for like the work that I'm doing. That's why I got here pretty on time
Yeah.
because I had a clock. Like I knew when I had to leave to get here, to be honest. So after I do that mentorship work, I'll get into my brand work. My brand work, 3 hours. That's handling emails, handling customers' orders, shipping out orders, handling the financial part, uploading content. And then if I got a drop on the way, I spend majority of that time preparing that drop. Other than that, my day's pretty free to whatever I decide to fit into it. More than likely, I spend that time working though, recording a YouTube video, going to get some content done, figuring out something that I can do to replace the time that I do have. But over the last like month or so, I used to watch a lot of Alex Hermosi. I stopped watching him up to now recently, but he preached like hours, 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 hours. Then I realized I'm putting in a lot of hours, 12 plus hours. I used to work 12 plus hours a day
Yeah.
sitting down. I was like, I'm getting the same results that I am getting now working 5 hours of deep work a day. So it's more about impact for me now, trying to do the things that actually move the needle or get me results rather than just trying to do some work, to be honest. So 5 hours of deep work, and then kind of whatever else comes to me throughout my day, I'll get to it.
I like that because on my last podcast, I used this quote: "Never mistake habit for hard work,"
Yeah,
and that's pretty much what you just said. Like, you want to make sure you're using your time as the most effective on the most effective things.
for sure, for
That's
sure.
gonna, like you said, move the needle for whatever you decide to do, right? And so many people get kind of caught up in, oh, if you're doing some type of work, then
You're
it's
doing
you're
something.
doing
Yeah,
something, but not necessarily because the quality of the work probably isn't the best.
yeah,
But you want to make sure that the quality is there, and then the effectiveness is there
for sure,
of
for
whatever
sure.
work that you're doing. So yeah, I really like that a lot.
Yeah. To touch on that also,
Hmm.
people find it difficult to find things to do. I want to just share this with my audience. The three main components of owning a business, well, specifically a clothing brand, is going to be attracting customers. So, like marketing, of course, you have to get eyes,
Yeah.
regardless. If you can't get nobody to see your product, nobody's going to buy it. Converting those customers, it's ideal to get customers, but where are they going to shop? How are they going to shop? And do they trust your brand enough to shop? And then retaining those customers. So that's what I spend most of my day on. Like I said, managing those emails, shipping out orders, creating content, and then of course managing the financial aspect to go and develop more products to get more customers and retain more customers.
What are some of the big misconceptions of being a clothing brand owner, or even just an entrepreneur in general, that people might not know
Yeah.
um, heading into it?
I think people think specifically for the clothing brand space is that it's like free money. It's not free money at all. It's not free money. You're actually, if you're looking for money, you're actually better off going to a different business industry. I know other business industries that are more lucrative that you don't have to put as much money up that you can make more money from. For example, just like a coaching business, you can start posting content about whatever you do, whether that's fitness, whatever it may be, and make more money from in a short amount of time than you can with a clothing brand. Clothing brand, you already have to come out $1,000+ to get started, unless you're doing a pre-order method, which I don't recommend. But it's not easy money. It's going to take time. It's going to take energy. It's going to take effort, and it's going to take money. And most of the time, people don't want to invest that money to get started. But yeah, it's not easy at all. It's not free at all. The first year running my business, I made around $120,000 the first year of running
Mhm.
conflicted levers. By the end of that year, we had $0 in the bank account. Some mismanagement, mostly because the money was going into different things, though. So the clothing industry is not a money grab scheme. Oh, let me just make some money. I want to make some money real fast. It's not like that at
Yeah,
all. If you want to do that, I would just say go do something else.
because the investment of it is just it takes a
And
while.
it's
You know what I mean, to get
constant.
going. It's constant,
It's every day.
and I,
Every
I
day.
know I know a lot of people aren't willing to. They say they might
Yeah.
be willing to go through the day in day out grind, but until you actually in it, it's like damn. And then obviously you say it takes 1,000 plus to start it,
Yeah.
correct? Roughly,
Roughly.
depending on what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so people don't even want to do that.
Yeah.
So, you know, yeah, it's definitely not for everybody, and you definitely see people coming out with stuff, and you can just tell off rip it's not
Yeah.
well thought of or well planned or prepared, and it was just
Yeah.
they just did it just to do
Just
it.
to do it.
How does
Just to
that how
do it.
does that make you feel?
I'm glad you asked that because I was actually going to say how it made me feel. I get a lot of DMs every single day. A lot. 50 plus DMs from people hitting me up. Yo, bro, check out my clothing brand. Yo, bro, why am I not getting sales? And then I go and check out the page and I analyze what's going on. And it seems like they didn't even try, you know? And for me personally, I like to teach people. I like to help people provide value, but I also don't like to waste my energy, waste my time.
Yeah.
I would much rather spend my time and energy on somebody that's actually looking to grow and develop rather than spend on somebody who's just doing something, you know. So I don't like it. I don't like it. I can't feel really too much about it
Yeah.
on a personal side, but it just makes me shake my head.
What do you tell them when they do send it over and you're like, I don't know about this one.
Yeah, I mean, if they send me a product that obviously doesn't look good, I tell them like, yo, you know, just add a little more of this or do a little more of that. And some people will get cocky and be like, oh well, this and the third. I'm like, okay, you asked
You
me.
asked me what
You
what you
asked me about
expect.
it. Yeah, yeah,
Oh man. What's one thing that you were surprised about heading into this entrepreneurial space?
Honestly, I was surprised how like quick things can flow if you get started, to be honest. Taking action is like the first step, like you mentioned. But once you take action and you actually rolling and actually dedicating and getting work done, some things can happen.
Mm.
Some things can really happen faster than you think they can happen. I never thought that I'd be in this position that I am today in 3 years when I first started. I actually didn't have any expectation or any goals when I first started. I was just working, trying to get somewhere. So how fast you can get to the place that you're looking to get, even if you're not looking to get to it, was kind of crazy to me. And now, as I, of course, grew and learned a little more information, I'm deliberate with where I want to get to. So, and I know I can get there by the amount of work that I put in, so to say. Yeah, so it's kind of crazy how many things can really happen for you if you decide to actually lock in and get things done.
Is that the key to not really have expectations heading into it? So that way you're not disappointed, or should you have some level of, expectation?
Yeah, that was just for me personally. I didn't know what I was working on. Like I said, this is my third clothing brand. I don't know
Yeah.
what's gonna happen. I'm taking another risk. I was a risk taker at that time. I'm taking another risk, see what's going on. I don't think people should have an expectation. Don't expect anything because ideally nothing's gonna happen,
Mm.
right? Ideally you're gonna fail realistically. But I would just say set a goal and then create a system to get to that goal. And then even if you don't get to that goal, you're closer to it and then you're a better person, obviously, because if you created a system like, okay, I need to work on my brand from 5 to 7. You create a system. Okay, now you can do deep work for 2 hours and you're focused. Your brain's more locked in now. So even if you don't reach the goals, you'll be a better person or be closer to your goal. So I just say set a goal, to be honest.
Is clothing and fashion, is that your end goal of where you want to be, or do you want to be able to expand and use whatever you have now as a platform for other ventures?
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely a businessman. This was a business industry that I happened to get into because it was something that was going on at the time, and I already had a pretty creative advantage, and I already had a marketing advantage as well.
Yeah.
So it was an opportunity that I decided to take, and it's worked out pretty well. The goal is to, of course, have it long term, make it as big as possible, but I also have a goal of selling it for a pretty good amount of money if I had the opportunity to. So as far as long term goals for the brand, I don't have any ones just like set. The goal is just to increase and get better and continue to grow each and every day. Really, like I said, 2024, we weren't fully locked in just yet. This is like our first year being like head over heels for the clothing brand, trying to figure this stuff out.
You being a young black man that is successful in entrepreneurship is not something you see every day.
Yeah.
For you, how does it feel being a successful business owner that happens to be black and doing your thing?
It feels good, man. It feels wonderful. I know that I have a lot of siblings, so more than anything, more than the support I get from like my followers, anything like that, people online, it's good that I feel like, and I know that they look up to me. They want to do similar to what I'm doing. So honestly, that feels amazing. And I feel like in terms of what I asked for, that's all I kind of asked for. I love my siblings to death. Like I'd die for them if I could right now. So to be a role model to them and even be able to put certain siblings in place to even help me out and help them out as well is just like a blessing. It's amazing. I love it.
I don't know if you've experienced this, but have you had people put their hand out for like handouts or ask for something they didn't work for
Yeah.
or stuff like that? Have you encountered those people?
Um, nah, not really, not really. I feel like people, if somebody needs something, of course I have no issue helping them out. But I haven't had no experience where anybody was
No.
like, yo, I need this for something. Uh, I don't even think that people understand how big it really is, but I don't even think I understand how big it really is, to be honest. It's just like my day to day work, getting things done. Like, this is my career. It's kind of like working a job for me, basically. This is my career. I got a pretty good career, basically.
Talk about your business partner a little bit.
Yeah,
Um, did that start as a friendship and turn into a business partner, or was it a business partner
yeah,
turn friendship?
for sure, for sure. My boy Ja, man. Shout out to my boy Ja as well. He's great. He's great. He's great. I met him, I want to say, I went to Alito Middle School
Okay.
in 8th grade. We played Burleson Middle School, our last game. So I played him, He was on that team. And then I knew about him though, because in middle school we all kind of knew each other on the football team and stuff like that. But we weren't that close. And then my freshman year, I went into that summer football program. Me and Ja were pretty close. We got pretty close because like we trying to get to the league. So everybody that was serious about it and everybody that was good on the team was obviously close together. So we was pretty close that year. Freshman year we got started. We was close. We also that freshman year we went to camps together as well. Like he would drive me, or his parents would drive me, and my parents would drive him. And we need anything, we wouldn't have no issue handing it over for each other and stuff like that. So it's been a good, like, it's like kind of like a brother to me. And then when the opportunity presented itself, we both were already pretty active with each other. We had been playing Fortnite for a bit of time. He was selling Fortnite accounts right before we actually
Mm.
started the clothing brand. I was just editing videos. I had a whole Fortnite YouTube that I was on as well. So we had been close for a period of time. He was like, "Yo, bro, I seen this thing. You want to try it out?" I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." Then we locked in. There's still no contract agreement or anything like that. It's just based on the fact that, yo, this is my brother. We trying to we do split ownership of the business, of course, and things like that. But there's no contract, no agreement set. It's just like, yo, we brothers. We're trying to build this business to $1 billion company if we can.
Is that something you want to keep, like the no contract thing, as
I,
far
I
as
definitely think
with him at least?
I definitely think I'm not interested in a contract right now, to be honest. I know like as things get serious and like you might as well get it involved and stuff like that just to make sure everything is set in stone. But he's a trustworthy person. I'm a trustworthy person. We trust each other. It's not our focus right now, to be honest.
How important is that having not only just your business
Yeah.
partner, but other friends and family around you that are very supportive and understanding of what you got going on?
It's honestly up of the utmost importance. Of the utmost importance. Bad association spoils useful habits. We understand that clearly. So if you're entangled with whether a friend, a family member, a spouse that is not supportive or active inside whatever you're trying to do or is not helping you get closer to your goals, it's either going to one or two things: make you hate the goal or make you hate the person. So I try to all the people around me, they're very supportive, but you also have to give them something to support too. Um, Starting out, your parents are not going to. A lot of people don't understand this. Starting out, your parents are not going to support your business, whatever it is. They're not going to support you. Some might. Some might. It's very rare though. They're not going to support you throwing $1,000, $2,000
Why you
into
want
a
to do
business.
that?
Yeah. Why do you want to do that? What's the purpose of that? Like, let's yeah. They're not going to be supportive at first, but definitely as they see you putting in work and they see it growing and developing, they'll be a lot more supportive of you. But support is very. I won't say support is important. Just understanding like this is what I'm working towards, and this is how you could deconstruct from me getting there. And then them just not doing that is enough. They don't have to do anything extra. Them just not doing that is enough. On this topic as well, I had a conversation with my spouse. This is very important as well. More important than your family, your brothers, your sisters. The person that is going to get you closest or furthest from your goals is the person that you spend the most time with.
Mm.
You spend the most time with your spouse. If you have one, y'all spend the most time together. So it's important for you young people, grown people as well, that like if you have a spouse, you get them on the same page. Like, hey, what's your goals? How can I help you get closer to them? How can I not help you get closer to them? Hey, this is my goals. Here's how you can help me get closer to them. And then you guys can even figure out, is this going to work? Because at the end of the day, the purpose of life is to like get to where you want to be. So it's important that y'all have those tough conversations.
So you're locked in right now
Yeah, I'm
with
locked
someone?
in. I'm locked in.
Okay.
I'm locked in.
Okay, for sure, for sure. How long has it been?
It's been like 8 months, 8 9 months, eight
Okay.
9 months. We was working through some things at the beginning, but definitely towards this latter part of the year, we got
Hey,
locked
as
in.
long as you fix it up, you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
Um, Going back to that, 'cause that was about to be my follow-up question, was have you had conversations with, I guess, your girl, family members, friends? Do they understand the grind and the commitment that you have to what you have to do?
yeah. I don't.
And how did those conversations, come about, and how were those conversations had?
Nah,
Because
for
I know
sure,
it's
for
hard
sure.
for a lot of people to have those conversations.
Definitely, it could be nerve wracking. But I don't. I didn't really tell my parents like, yo, this is what I'm. My parents kind of know what I do,
Mm-hmm.
so to say, I don't know if they know the level or degree that I do it to. I know my mom. She knows I work pretty hard. My dad knows I work pretty hard. He sees the results, but he doesn't really see the inside or whatever it may be. But I never had a conversation with them like, hey guys, I'm completely locked in for this year. I'm just making it kind of happen, and they're seeing the results. Oh, he got this car. Oh, he's doing this and the third. But more so for the spouse, um, that conversation we had New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, well, the New Year's Eve. As we're writing down the goals, that's when I had that conversation. Like, hey, look, so these are my goals right here. I love you to death. I know you love me to death, and I want to help you get as close to your goals as possible. And I know you want to help me get as close to my goals as possible. And here's how you can do it. This is the goal. Here's how you can deconstruct from it, and then that was just kind of set in stone from there. And I feel like if you have the right person, they're going to do everything they can to help you get closer to your goals. But if you don't, they're going to, oh no, you don't need to. Oh, why this? Why that? As long as it's logical.
Hmm.
If I say I want to save more money, so hey, we can't eat out every day of the week. That makes sense. If they're like, no, I'm not doing that. What do you mean you're not
Yeah.
doing that? So yeah, I had the conversation New Year's Eve. She was very supportive, understanding, and actually like I'm cracking down my goals now with her being completely supportive of it.
I see you've been traveling a lot recently.
Yeah.
Where's your favorite spot to travel to, or has
Um,
been so far?
I went to Puerto Rico twice.
Okay.
I went one time when I was 17, and then I went again, I believe November 19. I love Puerto Rico. It's amazing. I think it's just the nature. I like the tropical, the beach. I just like Puerto Rico. I like Puerto Rico.
What was your favorite thing to do out there?
Um, Honestly, I just like the beach. I just like the beach.
The beach,
I
you're
just like the
saying?
beach. Like to be able to see the water and see clear water and be able to see my hands in the water is just like crazy, to be honest. I also did go to California right after that, and I was in California like, what is this? This is not. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. I just didn't like it. I didn't. I like.
It's
I've been.
because Puerto Rico set those
Yeah, Puerto
expectations.
Rico kind of had. I was like, Cali. I feel like Cali is like if you want to spend some money,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to spend no money. I'm more of an experience type of guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wrapping this thing up, what message do you have for people that want to get into entrepreneurship that you can tell them about instant gratification and, waiting your turn pretty much?
Yeah. This might sound cliche, but what do people be saying? It's about the journey, not the destination,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? I'm reading Atomic Habits right now as well, and while reading this book, they talked about how wanting something, the desire to want, is more intense than the desire to have it and to actually like it.
Hmm.
So certain parts of our brain, the wanting part is bigger than the actually liking part. So for me personally, and for you guys, personal tip, it's always been about improvement, improvement. Because even when you get that thing that you're looking for, you're gonna set the next standard. You're gonna set the next standard as soon as you get it. You're gonna be like, okay, now I need to get this, or now I need to do this. So I would just say, don't focus on the thing, just focus on working. And you'll get the thing, and then you're gonna get more things and more things and more things. So for me personally, my goal was like for this year is like, oh, let's pay off my debt. I want to pay off all my debt. I paid off my debt. I was like, oh, wait a minute, the debt's paid off. I'm happy. I felt happier like screenshotting the credit card payments and sending it to my mom
Hmm.
than I did when all the debt was paid off. So then it was like, okay, now let's pay off my car. So don't focus too much on the actual goal. When you get it, appreciate it. It's something to definitely be appreciative about. But more so focus on the journey and focus on getting better every single day, because if you focus on that, you'll get closer to the goals inevitably. It'll happen like this. And you will look up and be like, dang, I wasn't even focused on getting that thing, but that thing happened to come to me. I say this to say that doesn't mean don't have goals though, and don't look towards your goals. Because I have goals. There's things I want to get, of course, and things of that nature. But I don't jaw drop when I don't have it. Just you're like, oh, I need to get this. It's like, okay, I'm working to get this, but I'm working to get it,
Yeah,
so to say. So there's a lot of work that got to be put in. Just focus on the work, and then the results will come as they come.
because you might not hit the actual goal, but if at least you've gotten better from, the previous time
Yeah,
or a couple months back, then I get you. I mean, you can take that and appreciate it and,
yeah.
and keep going, But some people, they see the goal and they don't hit the goal, they're done.
Yeah,
It
even if you
knocks them
say you
out.
want to be like, let's say I'm 20, I say I want to be a millionaire by 21, and I'm a millionaire by 25. I'm a millionaire by
Yeah,
25.
like
I'm a
come on.
millionaire by 30.
Yeah,
Like some people don't reach a million. So whatever goals you have, just let them be the goals. Ideally, work towards them, but don't get upset when you don't reach them. Or what you could do is like stack them up and put them so high that you fall short of it, and it's still something that is desirable to you, so
exactly.
to say.
I like that. What would you tell yourself 3 years ago when you were starting this clothing brand that would help you out a lot right now?
Um, Probably focus. Like focus, really like focus. Focus, period. All
Yeah,
caps.
that's it.
Focus, period, all caps. Like I said, a lot of things I spent my time on, a lot of things I spent my money on, a lot of things I spent my energy on, it took away from the actual place that I was trying to get to. Inevitably, you spend a lot of time in your day. It's 24 hours in a day. It may not seem like a lot of time, but it's a lot of time. You could be scrolling on TikTok for you think 20 minutes and it'll end up being an hour, so to say. So just focus. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, focus on that. And anything that does not add to that, kind of move it out the way. Spending time with your family will want to make you get closer to your goals. Because, oh, I want to buy my mom this, I want to buy my dad this. But going to the party, getting drunk, and then having a headache tomorrow morning and can't do your work today, then you feel sick the next day, then oh your car you crashed your car that night because you were drunk, like it's going to get you further away. So limit the amount of, because life happens, limit the amount of things that happen by just focusing on the thing that you can do, so to say. Like focus on things you want to do.
Mm. You did mention Atomic Habits. I read that book. That's an amazing
Yeah.
book. What are you a big book reader, and what's your favorite book that you've read so far?
Man, I started reading around the same time that I started like my entrepreneurship journey. Then I stopped for a little bit while I was working on my clothing brand. But I'm back active reading now today. My favorite book that I've read, I think it has to be the psychology of money. But I'm loving Atomic Habits though.
Mm.
Like it might top that after I read this next chapter, to be honest, because I feel like it has been the most applicable book. I read the psychology of money, and I didn't like kind of take heed to it. But I'm reading Atomic Habits, and I'm actually doing the things that they're telling me to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely Atomic Habits probably has to be my favorite book, and I haven't even finished yet.
Any last words or pieces of advice you would like to say to anyone who wants to get into entrepreneurship or have a clothing brand they want to start?
Yeah, honestly, people say this all the time, but I just think it's important that you lock in, really. You say you want it, but how bad do you really want it? If you want it as bad as you said you wanted it, you will lock in. And I feel like as people watching this right now, they know the thing that they struggle with. Like I will watch videos about people like, oh, you know, you need to get rid of that one thing, and I be like, yeah, I do need to get rid of that one thing, and then not get rid of that one thing. You guys know what you need to get rid of. You guys know what you need to do. That's why they're watching this video right now. You have all the information, all the access to the information. Just do it. Like Nike, just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Lock in and just do it. Avoid the distractions, avoid the temptations. The light is not always, not the light. Everything's not greener on the other side, you know. So for anybody that's struggling like with temptation with young ladies, for 10 minutes you lit. After that, you're like, okay, what did I just do? And then probably have a baby and then anything like that. So just be wise and just focus on the thing that's going to get you to where you want to be. And that will help you avoid making dumb decisions in life. So yeah,
Fuck with it, man.
for sure, for sure.
Demarion, I appreciate you hopping on here and
Yes, sir.
talking a
Appreciate
little
you.
bit about your journey, your clothing brand, helping other people out who are trying to get into it. I'm someone who would like to get into it down the line, maybe not right now, but sometime in the future, get into it. It's always something I've wanted to get into,
Yeah,
but I've never really got around to it just because I've had other obligations, school and whatnot. But yeah, man, I appreciate you giving me some gems that I can take with me for
for sure,
sure.
for sure.
Uh, for those of y'all who are watching this, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Go follow Demarion on his page. Shout out your IG and all that.
Instagram at Mindset of D. YouTube, Mind of D.
Yes,
The
sir.
brand
Go.
is Conflicted Lovers at Conflicted Lovers on IG.
Yes, sir. And I'll put pictures up here. You know, as we're talking, I'm gonna put the pictures up of what we got and all the examples that he talked about today. But if y'all made it this far, y'all are the best. Absolutely love y'all. Please comment, like, share, subscribe, send this to a friend who is trying to, get better in life. Honestly, this is what this podcast is all about. Self-improvement, being yourself, growing as a person. And I love getting other people's stories, with self-improvement and stuff like that. So other than that, be different, be one of one. We're out. Peace.
Peace.